Have you ever had a great idea for an app and just wondered, how do people turn that into a real business? Well, today we're opening up the playbook for appreneurs to see exactly how it's done.
So you've got it, that killer concept, that game-changing idea for an app. But let's be real, the hard part isn't the idea. The real challenge is turning that spark into something that actually works and makes money. So how do you do it? That's exactly what we're going to break down. Think of it like a journey, right? It's got three big stages. First, you start with your core concept. Then you build an experience that people genuinely enjoy using. And finally, you figure out how to make it a product that actually pays the bills. First things first, you don't try to build the entire grand vision on day one. No way. You have to start smart with a solid foundation. And in the world of apps, that foundation is called the minimum viable product, or MVP. So what exactly is an MVP? Well, it's the most stripped down, essential version of your app. Now, this doesn't mean it's buggy or half finished. It means it's laser focused on just the core features you need to test your main idea with real people without wasting a ton of time and money. And this isn't just guesswork. It's a really disciplined process. You start with market research to see if people even want what you're building. Then you define only those core features, pick your tech, and then you get into this cycle of developing, testing, launching, and most importantly, iterating based on feedback. It's all about learning as you go. Okay, so you've built a working app. That's huge. But the next challenge is making it something people love using. And that's where a fantastic user experience, or UX, becomes your absolute secret weapon. You know, Jeff Raskin, one of the pioneers of computer interface design, said it best. This system should treat all user input as sacred. What does that mean? It means you have to respect your users' time, their effort, their intelligence at every single step. This idea forces you to make a really critical choice. Are you going to put up a roadblock, like demanding a user sign up the second they open the app? Or are you going to give them control and let them explore first? I think we all know which one feels better, and the data backs it up. User control always wins. And you can just feel the difference here. On the left, you've got that frustrating wall. You can't do anything until you hand over your info. But on the right, a simple, friendly skip for now. That little button is everything. It puts the user in the driver's seat, it builds trust, and it makes them way more likely to stick around and see what you've built. All right, you've got a great product. People love using it. Now for the million-dollar question, how are you going to make money? It's time to talk about monetization. First, you got to know where the money is, and this chart makes it pretty clear. Almost half of all app revenue, 48.2%, comes from in-app purchases. That is a massive slice of the pie that you just can't afford to ignore. So, how do you get a piece of that action? Well, these are the four classic models. You can charge people to download your app up front, you can offer a freemium version, you can use in-app ads, or you can go with a subscription model, which is getting more and more popular. Now, the freemium model is really clever when it's done right. Take the FineReader app. They give you a free version with basic scanning. It works, it's useful, and it's also the perfect marketing tool to show you just how much more you could get by upgrading to their paid pro version. But here's the thing, the really top tier, most successful apps today, they're not just picking one of those strategies anymore. They're getting way more sophisticated, using what are called hybrid models to get the most out of every type of user. Yeah, that old playbook of just picking one model and sticking to it, it's pretty much dead. The modern strategy is to combine them. And it's not just a niche thing. Over 60% of the highest earning apps are now using these kinds of mixed hybrid strategies. Lensa is a perfect example of this in action. If you're a power user, great. You can get a subscription for ongoing access. But if you just want to try that one cool AI avatar feature everyone's talking about, no problem. You can make a simple one-time purchase. They meet you where you are. And inside these hybrid models, there is one undisputed champion, subscriptions. I mean, just look at this number. On average, apps that include subscriptions bring in a staggering 4.6 times more revenue per user than apps that only rely on ads. That's a game changer. But look, the app world moves fast. So to really stay ahead of the curve, you have to be looking at the big trends that are shaping how apps are going to make money tomorrow. And of course, AI is the big one. It's creating totally new ways to make money. The two models that are really taking off are, 1, putting your best AI features behind a premium subscription, or 2, a usage-based model where people buy credits or tokens. It's great because it directly connects how much they pay to how much value they're getting. And there's another huge shift happening right now. And this one is fundamental to the business itself. We're seeing the beginning of the end for the payment monopolies held by Apple and Google. Recent court rulings are finally opening the door for developers to use other payment systems.
And this chart shows you exactly why that is such a massive deal. The app stores take a huge cut, anywhere from 15 to 30%. But if you can use direct web billing, that fee plummets to just 3 to 5%. That is a ton of money going directly back to the app creator.
So let's just bring it all home. The playbook is pretty clear, right? You start lean and focused with an MVP. You obsess over creating an experience that puts the user first. And then you build a smart, flexible, hybrid way to make money that adapts to your users.
Because this whole process isn't a one and done kind of thing. It's a constant cycle. Once you build something that people love and are happy to pay for, well, that's when the real journey starts. So the question is, what's the next great thing you're going to build for them?